Good afternoon, everyone. I hope that you are doing well. Hope your day is moving along nicely. No bumps, nothing ill in the road. Just smooth sailing, hopefully today. As we are going to dive into this particular track, Fatamorgana by Ofra Haza. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing this correct. This is coming off of the album Desert Wind, which was released. Oh, I didn't get that. I have the single released, which was 1990. But as for the actual album itself, I should perhaps looked that up beforehand. 1989. I'm 1 year off. That's no problem. I'm pulling it up right now. Okay, so I got the album pulled up here. Let's see. Which studio album this is by her? It doesn't tell me exactly the which number this is in her albums, but it is an album by her. We are listening to this as it was suggested and sponsored by Lyrical. So Lyrical, thank you so much for the recommendation. I appreciate the request and sending this in. Let's go ahead and pull up the track. We're going to be listening to it over here on YouTube Music. So I'm loading this up right now. We will discuss it, of course, as always, afterwards. Here we go. I mean, it's a sound I'm already liking. I love that bass and how it accents.
Here is the place where she will die. She's looking far, far away. It seems there is no escape from the prison.
What a change there.
Fatamorgana, only yesterday. Fatamorgana.
It's like it became more modern production-wise and such. What a cool marriage of like production and sound here. Great roominess on the percussion as well. That bass, man. Her voice is like a desert wind. It's nice as that transition kind of bridge. And this kind of moves into a more like 80s kind of sound. Definitely. bare this is. Okay. Well, like we all know from the first 5 seconds of this track that I like it. We all know that already. I love this type of music. I love this culture of music. Anything with Middle Eastern sounds, percussions, melodies, voice like that. I'm going to have a strong bias towards it. I like that sound, and I love the way that she sings here. She has such an effortless, carefree tone. She doesn't need to push her voice to some diva voluminous level. She just keeps it easy and extremely breezy, and she sounds so comfortable and so serene in the way that she sings, and especially the way that she uses her vibrato when, that I don't know, there's probably a proper name for it, and I apologize if I don't have that name, but that, Middle Eastern kind of vibrato and the like there's a certain way of carrying the notes up and down in a way that is so beautifully natural, and it really does feel like a wind that's just blowing through the studio and blowing amongst the instruments itself. And the way that she does it, it just feels so effortless. It feels like she's barely trying. Like she opens her mouth, she parts her lips, and the soulful spirit of wind just blows out of her, like in just such this organic way. And I really, really like the tone of her voice as well. I can't help but think that her voice itself has a similar kind of tonality of like Kate Bush, but I mean, just not pushing in certain ways or going different, certain directions. She's very much sticking to her own thing. But just the actual tone reminded me a little bit of that. What I also thought was really cool in this track was how in the verse, it's deeply kind of sparse in its instrumentation. I love her singing with the bass player. I'm actually going to look up who's playing bass really quick because I think the bass was like, with her voice just out of this world. Who's playing bass on this one? It's going to be the 9th track. I'm on Wikipedia trying to find out who's playing bass. Bass. Don't call me Davey 504, but I'm looking for bass. backing vocals, vocal trap, drums, baglama. Who's playing bass on here? Do I not see? I might be missing something, but I don't see anyone credited with bass, but someone's playing it. So I don't know where that is or who's doing it, but someone's playing bass in here, unless I'm mistaken, unless there's something else going on. But whoever's playing it is fantastic. It sounds like a stand-up to me. Like I said, unless I'm mistaken. But geez, the way that her voice is kind of like I said, so light and windy and breezy and comforting. And then with the bass playing, it plays in a deep, thronging kind of way that kind of grounds everything. And obviously you have the percussion that plays very sparsely in the back and, kind of very gently drives the rhythm a little bit. But I think that it's really between her voice and the bass that makes this song. Listen to that. The bass almost acts as like trees. Think of a forest, like a dense forest, and her voice just blows through it just between the trees and like never making contact with it or seemingly not. But what I also thought was really cool how is in the verse, how, like I said, it's very empty and it moves in a much more sparse kind of way, more focused on her voice and the bass, I would say, with a little percussion and some melodies that kind of sprinkle in and out of there. And then when it moves into the chorus, it moves into a completely different, well, no, I shouldn't say completely, but it does move into a different direction where it has more of an 80s, early 90s kind of movement, kind of rhythm, kind of sound, and even production-wise, it has a little bit more of that clean sheen production on top of things as opposed to the verse. So I think that that's also a really cool way of bridging the two together because there is that little bridge of, it sounds like a sampled vocal almost, that kind of bridges that gap. But I think that's a really cool movement in between. I'm going to pull it back here. I do it with you guys here on screen. Right. I love how this moves. Okay. Here's the switch. Hold on. I got to find the switch. A little more. It's coming. It's coming up here. This little sample part, drums change, and then see this shifts, and yet it doesn't lose the beautiful cultured part of her voice when she sings, of course, the Fatamorgana part. Fatamorgana, like that rise and that dip is so satisfying to listen to, and yeah, this was a great listen. this is really fantastic. I have some of the lyrics here. Fire in the sky, colors flying through her mind. Desert touch the sky, here at the place where she will die. She's looking far, far away. It seems there's no escape from a prison without bars, only to follow the bright star. She's running all of the way, Fatamorgana. Only yesterday, Fatamorgana. A little girl, longing for her mother's world. She was just a little girl, Fatamorgana. And it looks like we have some, I would assume, Arabic here. Who repeats the chorus, a little girl longing for her mother's world. Now, do you think that this could be about someone specifically? I mean, Fatamorgana. Well, okay. Well, there's a Wikipedia article here. Okay. A Fatamorgana is a complex form of mirage visible in a narrow band right above the horizon. Well, that's kind of interesting. Fatamorgana mirages significantly distort the object or objects on which they are based. Huh. A Fatamorgana of a container ship. You guys see that? Huh. Well, that is kind of interesting. I thought that this might be like lyrically a song maybe about someone, but perhaps not. Maybe it's about this kind of phenomenon, the Flying Dutchman. Wow, Fatamorgana of the ship. Oh, that looks really cool. Huh. In literature, a Fatamorgana is usually associated with something mysterious, something that could never be approached. What a cool... Wow, that is so Roger Dean, almost like that kind of interesting landscape. That is really, really cool. Like, I was curious if the song, if the lyrics, let me go back here, she was just a little girl. Like, if that was in reference to someone, something specific. I don't think there was anything over here. What a really, really beautiful track this was, though. The album had Thomas Dolby on the production as well. Wow. The main language of the album is English. However, Haza also sings in Arabic, Hebrew, and the ancient language of Aramaic. This was really, really cool. I have the Discogs page here. This was a really fantastic track. I enjoyed this immensely. There's so much good music out there. There's so much good music. And, we'll never hear it all, but we can absolutely be happy with what we do here. And I think that this is a great example of that. That was really, really awesome. Let me know, of course, what you guys thoughts down below in the comments. Here, Floor, thank you so much for the introduction. Really fantastic album from Ofra Haza. I'm curious, does she have any music on Spotify? She does have some music on Spotify, actually. Okay. This album's actually on Spotify. Is this it? It's right here. Oh. Adding it to my playlist. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you later. Bye, guys.